Tie or bow tie?
Bow tie.
Bow tie?
Bow tie, so toes.
I can show them both.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's see them.
But they're in the bathroom.
Oh.
Alright, I'm gonna get ready.
I have you over and it's just walking the bathroom fast right now.
It's not too bad. Ooh, going for the bottle.
Oh, there's red out too.
Oh my god. I am so nice. That's gorgeous. It's really good. You're doing my hair. I'm so bad at hair. Like, so bad. That's what I'm here for. Yeah, we brought extra dresses because we didn't know what would happen. And it worked out really well. You're gonna do my Yes. We tried to get in for her, by the way, but no dice.
How much time have we got in here, by the way?
Does my hair look okay?
We have to be out. So good. I'm gonna just before the ceremony. I think she just still loves somebody because my scatters and whatever. I need a dress.
Your clothes are awesome. They're
From Kate.
Are they?
From like a couple years ago.
They're so cute.
I don't know, they're going to...
You're calling from right here. Some of yours. If you guys can hold on to those, like,
Yeah. Probably walk on the outside.
We'll expect you to capture that. Oh, they're party hardy. Look at them, they're party. They're partying in the yurt.
Heart lies for you. To you, my love, my love. I'm waiting for you. Only to adore you. My love, my grief for you. Only the loss of you, the hurting of you, my love, my love, my love. My love, my love, my love. There are rays on the weather. Soon I will have you with me in my arms only. For you. Creek watershed in California's bountiful Cape Valley. Here we gather to celebrate the love between Kate and Brendan, the community that supports them, and of course bear witness to their union as lawfully wedded partners. If I may speak for the couple, which I suppose is my job today, I'd like to tell you that Brendan and Kate are so grateful for your presence. Just look at their faces. They thank you for making it all the way out here to be with them, and they ask for your continued support and encouragement as they continue their life together. So you may be wondering who I am. My name is Ash. And I've had the pleasure of living with Brendan and Kate for the past 3 years. And they say that I know them best as both individuals and as a couple. Brendan was one of the first people that I met after moving to Davis. My new lab mate, Billy, that guy, brought me up to Tahoe National Forest for a weekend camping trip. And Brendan, after freshly arriving from Philly, met us in the small town nearby. His small car was occupied with his dog, Cassie, and her demons. It was filled with bike parts, and it was adorned with a bike rack that unfortunately did not survive the dirt roads that weekend. I don't remember much about the camping trip, but I remember feeling really welcomed by Brendan and Billy and Tyler into this new community in Davis. Since meeting, Brendan and I spent time together with mutual friends. We took courses together and occasionally spent time one-on-one to bake muffins. And 4 years later, I found myself starting a really big new chapter in life, and Brendan kindly invited me to move in with him to be his housemate. And that's what really gave us the opportunity to get to know each other and appreciate each other's truest selves and become best friends forever. Kate, on the other hand, I didn't have the pleasure to know until her and this fellow started fawning over each other. And before I met her, I knew that Kate was a lovely person, just from the small interactions that we had. She was one of those friendly Davis folks that I saw around campus, around town, and social shenanigans. And when she started dating Brendan, she started hanging around our house more and more often. And even though she was extremely friendly from the start, I really must admit that I was really intimidated by her intellect, her wittiness, and her adventurousness. And I was really nervous that she would think I was an awkward weirdo, which is fair. But I really didn't want to ruin it for Brendan.
And what now seems obvious to me, and probably to all of you who know Kate so well, is that Kate, like Brendan, is one of the most accepting, down-to-earth, and fun people that I know, and I'm so lucky to call her one of my greatest friends. So I watched Kate and Brendan's relationship bud and then bloom into the beautiful flower that it is now. I was there when they made it official around Christmas Eve, when they made tea for each other and let it sit on the nightstand, when they made breakfast for each other, when Brendan serenaded Kate and the pets, and when Kate initiated puzzle madness. I was there when Brendan started looking for a ring, and I was there in the mountains hiking with them when they got engaged. So it's an incredible honor to continue to be with Brendan and Kate on this huge relationship milestone, to be here to negotiate their wedding today. And it's really an honor to be in the presence of all of you, the community and family and friends that I've heard so much about. So it's to my understanding that most wedding ceremonies begin with a testament to the powerful force of love. We're here, after all, to celebrate love. Without it, I think we would all be really lost. And as Carl Sagan so elegantly phrased it, for small creatures such as we, the vastness of the universe is bearable only through love. But I found it unsatisfying to try and suggest how we, and how Brendan and Kate in particular, can harness love. We can't define love, we can't choose love, it just is. Love harnesses us, the wand chooses the wizard. So I don't believe what I'm sorry. Harry. I don't believe we'll ever be able to fully describe or manipulate love. But I think we can focus on feeling it. And we're all here today together, basking in the wonderful energy that is love that was catalyzed by the relationship between Brendan and Kate. Relationships, unlike love that precipitates them, are malleable. So instead of talking about how Kate and Brendan can shape their love, I want to focus today on how they can shape their relationship in light of the love that they have for each other. So partnered relationships are typically seen to be purely mutualistic in nature, where each individual benefits from being with the other. But the nature of relationships carries much more nuance than that. Relationships are context dependent, they're dynamic, and they exist on a continuum of outcomes. Just like ecological interactions between species, at any given time, partnered relationships can vary from mutualism, where each partner is benefiting, to commensalism, where one partner benefits while the other is unaffected, and to parasitism, where one partner benefits and unfortunately and often unintentionally, the other partner is harmed. In a loving relationship, partners should always strive to achieve mutualism, but it would be unrealistic to assume that this means that everything is rosy all of the time, and that both partners are benefiting all the time. Kate and Brendan, listen. The commitment you're making today is essentially a promise to work together, to support one another even in the times of commensalism and parasitism, and to strive for a relationship that is as mutualistic as possible. It's important, too, to remember that your relationship, like all other relationships in nature, does not exist in isolation or in a vacuum. As John Muir said, when we try to pick out anything by itself, we find it hitched to everything else in the universe. So in a strong symbiotic relationship such as yours, you're greater than the sum of your parts. Because of this, you have a strong influence on your community, and likewise they have a really strong influence on you. When you commit to each other and strive towards this mutualism, remember that you're doing so in the context of your community. In your most mutualistic times, carry that energy to support the people around you. And as you navigate tough times, remember to reach out to your community for support. Like your relationship, your community is much greater than the sum of its parts. On this note, I would like to invite the wedding party to share some words by the author Neil Gaiman.
This is everything I have to tell you about love. Nothing.
This is everything I've learned about marriage. Nothing.
Only that the world out there is complicated. There are pieces.
Nothing. Like a book without pages or a forest without trees.
Because there are things you cannot know before you experience them.
Because no study can prepare you for the joys or the trials.
Because nobody else's love, nobody else's marriage is like yours. And it's a road you can only learn by walking it, a dance you cannot be taught.
A song that did not exist before you began together to sing.
Because in the dark. And that is all I know about love.
Qualities that will contribute to the success of their relationship with each other and with their community. Living with Kate and Brendan afforded the opportunity for me to grow really close to them and benefit from who they are as individuals and as partners. One of my favorite qualities of Brendan and Kate is that they both have a really strong sense of self. They're both so unique in how they confidently accept who they are, and because of this rare quality, they celebrate and embrace each other's quirks. It's obvious that they are truly in love and they respect each other for who they are. And because of this, they encourage each other to keep growing to be their best selves. Amazingly, this quality is not just reserved for each other, but they really offer it to everyone around them. Kate and Brendan, I appreciate so much your ability to bring out the weird in others and the quirks. The things that make people people, but that are so often buried and obscured for trying to appear normal, whatever that is. I know that we all feel that it is a true privilege to be part of your community. And I know that this is not a standalone opinion or feeling of mine, because I've talked to a lot of our friends and they've echoed similar feelings. And so I'd like to share some thoughts from friends who know you really well. Okay, so one quote is that, "I love how much they appreciate each other's strengths and quirks and how kind they are. They both deserve and found an amazing partner. They embrace and truly value the weirdness in each other. I think they're a model of a couple that are better than the sum of themselves because of things like that. I mean, they nurture and grow each other's best qualities, and also they're really, really hot." They don't have their heads up their own asses. They realize, I think, that life is a joke. One of my favorite things is seeing how much they love each other and watching them both grow to be supportive partners. People improve the lives of each other and the lives around them. So now we'll have a reading by Rainer Maria Rilke to be read by Kate and Brendan's former housemates, Laura Paul, Lady Chris, and the world's most enthusiastic flower person, Jennifer.
The point of marriage is not to create a quick commonality by tearing down all boundaries. On the contrary, a good marriage is one in which each partner appoints to the other to be the guardian of their solitude, and thus they show each other the greatest possible trust.
A merging of two people is an impossibility, and where it seems to exist, it is a hemming in, a mutual consent that robs one party of their fullest freedom and development.
But once the realization is accepted that even between the closest people, infinite distances exist, a marvelous living side by side can grow up for them. If they succeed in loving the expanse between them, which gives them the possibility of always seeing each other as a whole and before an immense sky.
Brendan, I would now like to invite you to publicly express how you feel in your heart towards your partner. Kate, would you like to begin?
Brendan,
I'm so excited to stand up here with you today in front of all people and wanted to ask. I love and care for you so much. One of the first things that I loved about you was your integrity. You are yourself in every situation I've seen you in. When I think about you, I think about the poem I sent you in the really early days of our relationship, which was, about you there's nothing I wouldn't want to know. With you nothing is simple, yet nothing is simpler. I want to tell you today that I love you as an individual, as my friend, confidant, and now as my legally bound partner. I'm so excited to build a life with you, one that is our own rap park, filled with love, laughter, adventures, different kinds of music, and meaning. Today in front of our community, I want to express how lucky I feel and how happy I am to choose you to be my partner.
I love you for your kindness, its purity, honesty, and reliability. Gift me with the knowledge that I can put my trust in you, support you, and grow alongside and with you. I love your perceptiveness of the world and others, and watching the way you process it with all of your wit, intellect, and heart. It makes every day a delight to hear your thoughts, jokes, and perspectives. I love mornings in the kitchen, times in the forest, awkward songs with the pets, and I'll be supportive and loving and excited for the future, the communities we continue to build, and the life we build together. Rat Park. I was going to whisper that, but there's a
mic. Brendan and Kate, do you promise to respect, admire, and appreciate each other for who you are, as well as for the person you wish to become?
We do.
Do you promise to support and protect each other's freedom? Because although your lives are intertwined, your choices are still yours alone.
We do.
Will you strive to meet each other's needs, not out of obligation, but out of joy?
We do.
Do you promise to nurture each other's goals, provide support through misfortune, and celebrate each other's triumphs?
We do.
Do you intend to keep your lives exciting, adventurous, and full of passion?
We do.
Do you resolve to maintain not just a romantic relationship, but a friendship pact? Will you promise to persevere when times are tough, knowing that any challenges you might face will be conquered together?
We do.
Do you promise to reach out to your community when you need them, and be there when they need you?
We do.
Do you promise to treat each other with compassion over fairness, because you are a team now and for always?
We do.
Will you promise to demonstrate every day that you know how lucky you are to be each other's partner?
We do.
Now I'd like to turn to you all, the lovely community, and I would please like for the parents of the bride and groom to stand. Your family, and do you support this union? Margie and Jim Barrett, do you welcome Kate into your family, and do you support this union? Thank you. Now will the rest of the community please rise? Come. We do! Thank you. You may be seated. State of California. Kate, do you take Brendan to be your legally wedded partner?
I do.
Brendan, do you take Kate to be your legally wedded partner?
I do.
That's great. Now, please exchange rings as a symbol of the vows that you've made today. Family, friends, and fellow quirky humans, by the power vested in me by the American Marriage Ministries and by the state of California, I am pleased to pronounce Kate and Brennan as wife and husband, sealed together today both in law and in love. Now kiss, kiss.
As long as they live.
Do 5 flowers?
No, we're doing specialty things going on. So.
Very important.
We just have more
And those categories should come over here. And if you are not in these categories, you may proceed to the lodge area, farmhouse, and make merry. So, we need the wedding party. Should be over here.
Any immediate family, we need extended family, and then we want
Hey, high school, Mike, Amy, Cass, Finn, Daria, Dee Dee, Brad, Heather, these are the
college friends. Basically, it's just immediate family and extended family.
Take it back?
Pete, the olives are awesome. I didn't like olives
Megan? And now?
And now?
And his parents.
Here we go. Go. Oh yeah.
I don't think there will be.
What are you making?
It's just
Picking.
polenta.
What?
Polenta?
Ah, polenta.
Yeah, so we're doing polenta, and then it's going to be covered with a cannellini salsa verde. Are you filming? Wow.
Yes, I am filming.
And that's basically just a bunch of herbs from the farm, some red onions, and yeah, some cannellini beans. Should be delicious.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Some fried herbs.
How that's been such an example for us. If you know my Aunt Peggy and my mom, Patricia, really I don't know sisters that are closer, that spend as much time together, that go to Betty's, go to yoga when they both could do it. And I think that's something that Kate and I always really wanted to emulate in our relationship. I know that Peggy always used to tell us when we were growing up, she'd say, you know, right now you're fighting and you hate each other, but one day you guys are going to be very best of friends. And we're working on that now. And one day it'll come. But the reality is that we did fight a lot. My mom and dad used to take us on road trips for 10 hours at a time. Why they did that, why they thought that was vacation, we will never know. A lot of it was me poking and harassing her. It was great entertainment because books, yeah, for me were not enough. They were. And then she would, excuse my French, but she would beat the shit out of me. She had big shoulders back then, too. And I would cry to mom and dad, and they really did not care at all. They said I deserved it, which I did, and I still do anyway. So I think that fighting really turned to a lot of admiration. My sister used to go to school, and she swam every morning at 4 a.m. 5, I don't know what time, it was really early. And Dad would sleep in the parking lot waiting because he decided that it was really far away and why there's nowhere to go. So he would sleep in the car and pick her up. But she would then go to school in like sweatpants and have her hair pulled back and all wet. And so I thought that was like how people dressed. And I thought that was really cute. So I would steal her sweatshirts and all of that, and I would wear them to school. And I thought I looked good. And it took me a minute to realize that no, that was not normal. I love the same taste in music as her. I could still say the songs. I remember her playing out of her bathroom. At that moment, she had her own bathroom. No, yeah, I don't remember. But and also, I think like I was hanging out and spending time with her high school friends here. Like you don't realize that one of the best days of my entire adolescence was when they invited me to come to the Rocky Horror Picture showing that happened. And I thought that was like, it could not get any better than this. And I remember also that it was when Aunt Annie, I had just been there at the lake house there, so all that family and stuff comes together. And yeah, I fell asleep on Mike's shoulder and drooled on him on the way home. So that was really just the fact that she included me on that. And now I'd say we are really good friends, and we have a very different relationship than growing up. And how grateful I am that, how grateful and how much it means to me, Kate, that all your friends say, oh, you're Carrie's sister. I'm Kate's sister. I already had some wine. It's all about me. So it's just something that, like, I can't think of a kinder and sweeter person than my sister. And I think about all the people here tonight and how much they love her, how much energy they put into putting this together, and it's just incredible, and it really shows what person you are. And so thinking about also your relationship together, I remember when Kate met Brendan, and the first thing she said was, you know, he's an Irish dancer too. And that was definitely one of those moments where you go, this could be something. Our families may match up. And also she told me that he, in their quirkiness and love for each other, that they would read to each other at night. So I don't know what they would read, but we kind of knew there was something special there. And I think that, you know, in terms of love and what lasts forever, I think we've had really great, on both sides, examples of what that looks like, and how grateful we are for our families, and making sure to keep those bonds together as we go through. And I know that you guys have seen that in our families, and know that I love you both. I'm very excited to finally have a brother who will introduce me to all his really good-looking friends. Which is what I've always wanted. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me speak.
But to hear all these speeches yesterday at the rehearsal dinner and today, and just talking to the people at this wedding and hearing these amazing stories, it was just awesome to hear. And even thinking about and writing this speech, just thinking about all the silly and awesome stuff I've done with Brendan over the years, it was just really amazing. We have known each other for about 20 years now, which is insane. It blows my mind that it's been that long. It does not feel like that long at all. We've lived together a few times in our lives. We've lived together 3 times. Once, the first time was in a GMC Jimmy, 98 GMC Jimmy. The second time was in an apartment above an empty car dealership. And the third time was in a 2-walled metal roof structure that I'm pretty sure was for housing farm equipment. So we have lived in a few different places, and we've definitely traveled and seen each other in different spots. But there was a lot of content to put in this speech. So I simplified it down and just have a few stories for you. But Brendan is honestly, he's a smart, brave, good-looking, forgiving, honest, loyal, and determined person. I have definitely tried to model myself after Brendan, growing up with him. I've noticed the qualities in him that I really appreciate, and I've tried to emulate them in myself, so thank you for that, Brendan. You've definitely made me a better person. But the first story I wanted to tell was about Brendan being determined. We're talking about them being athletes, and Brendan was an athlete as well, you know. He maybe not have almost made it to the Olympics, but he was still pretty good. But I remember one time in high school, I wasn't running that day, but he had a race at Chamonix Park, the park down the street, so I went to go see him and some other people run. And Brendan, you know, people are coming in, Brendan comes around the corner and he's coming towards the finish line. And his form's looking a little wobbly, you know, he's not staying up very straight, he's kind of sitting. But he's cruising, he's pushing hard. And as it gets closer and closer to the finish line, he starts sitting down lower and lower. By the end, he's totally running completely like this. And he finally gets close enough and I see his eyes and they are glazed over, completely glazed over. You can tell by the look on his face that he has no idea where he is, but he knows he has to cross that line. And he did, and after he finished, he ended up in the hospital. And that is not the only time that has happened, it's just the only time that I've seen it. So that's that. So that's, yeah, he's a very determined person. The next one, I debated about telling this one, so. We were living in at the metal shed I was talking about. We were living in Costa Rica at the time. We had a little bit of a break, so we went on a road trip to a national park. We were going to do a hike there. On the way there, we stopped at a hotel. There were 3 of us. So, being the normal adult grown men that we are, Brendan and I took the queen bed and were sleeping together, and Amy was sleeping in the single bed, you know, being polite. But we stayed up by the pool. We got in an argument with a guy at the pool. But yeah, that was a whole other story. But so we had a few beers, right? We end up, we go to bed, we're asleep. I'm dreaming, right? So I start dreaming. I'm dreaming that I am peeing on a tree out in the woods. And we just Alright, so I hear, like, what the? Just like screaming. I wake up. So I think I'm standing, right? When I'm in the bed, I just have this realization I'm laying down. And it's like, whoa, it just dawns on me. I wake up, I am peeing on Brendan. I did not pee the bed. I took, everything was out and I was streaming right on him. So I wake up, I am horrified. Shame just like enters my body and just is in there deep. And I am just and Brendan is livid. He's standing on the bed, covered like this. Pissed off as hell. 2 seconds later, he is just laughing at me. Totally content. He's just like, change the sheets, I'm gonna go take a shower. And he's amazingly forgiving, immediately forgiving. He just saw the look on my face and could not do anything but laugh. And so he's a truly amazing person if you can do that to him and he's still okay with you. Oh, and another thing about Costa Rica, so there's mention about R. Kelly 2 times last night, Brendan's obsession with R. Kelly. I know, I actually saw R. Kelly one time and Brendan was most ridiculously jealous of me for that. I didn't even care, I'm not a big fan, but he was so jealous. But when down in Costa Rica, when you discover a monkey, when you find a new baby monkey, you get to name it. So Brendan named the monkey R. Kelly. So there's R. Kelly and Young Jeezy, and I had the luckily I had the opportunity to actually hang with there and meet R. Kelly and Young Jeezy. The last one, I know, talked to Brendan a few weeks ago, and we were talking about kids, and he's definitely thinking, you know, they're talking about it, which made me excited. Personally, I don't want them, but I think they'd be great at it. So, but I wanted to tell a story about why I know Brendan would be a great father. I remember we were living, this is in the apartment on top of the car dealership. There's a big garden in the back. Well, it's like a farmette. Brendan and I have made a giant, giant garden. And Megan was doing something and we had to babysit Andrew, right? And when we were babysitting Andrew, the cops only checked on us once. So, you know we're doing really well. But, so Andrew's there, we're in the garden, he's crawling all around, there's stuff we don't want him to get into. We're not exactly sure what to do, you know. We got the hat on him, we had the sunblock, he's all protected from the sun. Brendan has a great idea, he's like, why don't we just dig a hole and put him in the hole? So it worked. When the cop came by, he was definitely concerned and like looking at us a little bit. What are these guys doing? Two shirtless men with a baby in a hole. But Andrew loved it, he was playing with dirt. He didn't get out.
I heard this story for the first time last night. Good thing.
I do just want to say again that, well, you're all amazing people and I've loved meeting all of you. But Brendan, you do have an ability to draw people into your life, amazing people into your life. And you've done it again with Kate. She is great. I know as soon as I met her, I was like, oh, well, that's it. That's it. It's over. They're getting married, like, no doubt. And that's not only my sentiment. I've talked to other people here that have thought the same thing. And it's really amazing to see you guys. I was getting all choked up at the wedding. I'm pretty emotionless. Normally I'm, stone-faced, but you guys really got me worked up and feeling good. But so to the happy couple, cheers.
Kate's parents, Pat and Bill.
Okay, well, our theme is pride. Because we're so proud of our daughter.
Louder.
Louder? You can't hear? You can't hear now? And I was going to start, Patty told me I shouldn't start this way, but I was going to start by sharing what a horrible, fallow, purposeless life we were leading up until we had children. And what a great gift our children have been to us. And thinking of things, when we go back, I think about Kate and her working of puzzles when she was a little girl of about age 2, and everybody would be kind of flabbergasted that she could put these world puzzles together and things like that. Maybe that's where the math comes from. And then I think about her climbing a tree when she was way too young to be climbing it, going way high up in the air. And I'm thinking, well, there's a lot of branches on this tree. Her fall would be broken by that. And allowing her to go forward with that. Maybe that's where some of the adventureness comes from, is being encouraged and being allowed. Do you want to share something?
Well, I just want to say for me and for Dad, this has been such a wonderful journey with you and Carrie. It just, when I started thinking about this and thinking of the speeches, and I, listened to Brant last night, and I was like, oh, Brant, you nailed it. Since you weren't here, you wouldn't understand, but Kate understands. Talking about boyfriends past, and as a child, her first Kate always had the boyfriend. So there was Carlos was the first one in the infant toddler center. But it's just been this fabulous journey with you and with Carrie. I mean, and when Carrie speaks, and yes, and it's so important what we've all lived together with and experienced, and I'm so excited and happy to have Brendan join us in this family, and I want to go on more adventures with both you and Brendan, and we continue with Carrie. We're very lucky that she includes us. So I just want to, everybody raise their toast. This is their glasses to a toast to Kate and Brendan. Very exciting new life together.
Importantly. So, I will give the mic to Kate and Brendan.
Speak for both of them and say,
I do love math, and thank you all so much for coming.
It's really lovely to see people from all over different parts of our life come together and have a good time and get along so naturally. And you guys made the people we are and made us, and we're excited. I made you. Moving forward.
I finessed you! I finessed you!
Alright, well, poignancy is out the window. Thanks for coming. There's some time, we'll be dancing. We love you all.
Alright, everybody can eat.
We did it, it felt right.
Come on, let's admit it.
Stand and look cute. Don't you guys all like beat each other?